Well, hello and welcome everybody. I hope you're doing well today. Yeah, it's been a week for me. It's been an up and down week, but that's par for the course. That's the things that go on. That's the real life things that we all deal with. You all have your ups and you all have your downs. And then Thanksgiving comes along for the American friends. I'm Canadian. We celebrated it back in October. We don't do it in November. But thank you for the many, many well wishes for Happy Thanksgiving. And there is a lot of things to really be thankful for in the last year. You know, making an incredible presence in friends, making a lot of things that are just going on in the world so much easier to deal with. Yeah, there is things that we all deal with, and it all sucks. Sometimes real life just bites you, and then you've got to deal with it. And it's how you deal with them. It's how you approach the next thing that you need to deal with and move on from it. Now, there's a lot of things, and I'm very grateful for the friends that I have and very thankful for the friends I have, because I know they listen to a lot of the words I say, and they listen to a lot of the things I do. And it's absolutely incredible the amount of energy that all of you give back to me when I put something in front of you like this video. When I can sit here and tell you all that it's going to be okay. That some days it does resonate very tough and very hard. And life can be very harsh in a lot of ways. A couple weeks ago, I lost my dog. That's not a very easy thing to deal with. And when you do have that connection to someone, they are gone, those things are hard on a lot of people. Not just yourself, but on the people that are around you. People want to reach out, make sure you're okay. Now, the one thing that I've really learned in the last long while is you make things your own. You walk your own path. You don't necessarily walk everyone else's path. You may look at that for inspiration. You look at everyone else for inspiration, and you try and figure out what you're doing, what makes it different for what you're doing. And I know everyone deals with their own stuff in their own way. And that's part of it. That's part of the job of being a friend and being someone that wants to be heard. Now, it's not without deaf ears. People see people out there. And it's a series of just knowing how to take those steps. Knowing when to take the steps. Knowing when to step forward. Knowing when to step back. Knowing how to play the song and dance of life. Those are the things that really can lead one way or another. It's the choices that matter. And I know a year ago I made the choice to jump into this. I made the choice to do something more. To pick up the hobby for something more. To try and understand what goes on in a VR space. To try and understand a lot of the communities around here. To build a community that has a very, very good intended idea. To do something that is incredible. Now, it hasn't been without its bumps and bruises, obviously. There's ones that are out there that don't see that the same way. But that's not on me. That's on those that want to be here, that want to do something more, that want to listen. And as a father, there's things that I know as a parent, and I know there's a lot that want to listen to those words. And the best thing I can say overall is it takes time to learn certain things, to learn and be yourself. But once you find that, once you get the idea of being yourself, being who you are, that's where it goes off to the races. You build something that is yours. You don't build something that is someone else's. I know over a year ago, I tried to promote and try and push other people. Try and really showcase them as something more than I thought. And it's unfortunate that I was not given a chance to really do something more with that. But that's not my choice. That was their choice to shut that door and tell me I don't belong. I know I try to keep my door open. I try to keep it open, even though some people sit there and they will go and tell you otherwise. They will sit there and say, hey, you're not giving me something extra here. You're not giving me what I need. And what I need right now is someone to pay attention to me. Go look at here. Here I am. No. That's not how this works. Unfortunately, you can stand. You can be there. People can recognize who you are. People can be your friend. But when friends sit there and tell you that you've got to be more to them, unfortunately, that's something that can't happen. When you sit there day in, day out, trying to do your darndest in a day to make people happy, and then you see some of your friends turning and almost spiraling and hurting themselves, you've got to sit there and go, okay, how do we solve this? Well, the solution, unfortunately, is as harsh as it could be as a friend, is to be straight up. Tell that friend that what they're doing is possibly not in their best interest. To tell those friends that you miss them. You miss the way they used to be. You miss the carefree attitude. There's a lot of things that have happened. And I know a couple of my friends are on my mind, or I hope are still friends, because of certain actions that are happening, certain things that have happened around. I take a lot of things to heart. I sit there and I say, okay, well, how do I do better? How do I become something better? How do I be that person? And that's where I turn to these videos. That's where I've really picked up in these videos. When I have something to say, I try to pour it out in one of these videos. I try to say, as a general learning lesson for a lot of people, that yeah, it's okay, but at the same time, you have to know when to push this upon yourself. When you have to take your own personal responsibility in that factor, knowing that it's hurting others. Maybe if I learned that a year ago, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Maybe. Or maybe I'm just being too hard on myself. Because I know myself, the things that I've gone through. One of them, it still sits there in the back of my head as a what if. What if things are different? But that's not where we are today. Today, I just try and be me. I try and do something that everyone can really speak to and relate to. Know that you've all been there at some point or another. That's why you keep coming back to these videos. Knowing that it makes us all stronger. That's the difference. Had a couple friends pick me up when I was down, and that's when I turned around and said, okay, well, there's other people here. There's people that want to see me do good. So I moved on. I picked up the ashes and really spread them. I spread my wings and started letting them flap. And where we are right now is, I'm forever grateful and thankful, especially around the American Thanksgiving. I may be Canadian, but I do see the Thanksgiving season, the holiday season, as something more. It brings people together. It does so much more for everyone out there. And that's the difference. That's where things are going to really shine for everyone. So when you turn around and know that you've made yourself better by listening to the others. Anyway, I am your proud Canadian Phoenix, Cindershadow. I'm signing off here. Have yourselves a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you again very soon.